So now a thoroughly British fantasy, as BBC Two lets its hair down for a night on the town, Blackpool town.
Step right up. Welcome to the world of the strange, the unusual, the fantastic. Leave the commonplace behind and take a voyage to the unreal. You're about to witness human beings with talents that are so incredibly bizarre you may not believe your eyes.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have now very great pleasure in asking Miss Jean Mansfield to switch on the autumn illuminations of 1959.
And there they go. Flashbulbs, maroons and all. And this year's surprise, a portrait of Jane Mansfield herself in lights. Then the front of the town hall in purple and gold and the red roses of Lancashire.
That's the most fantastic thing I've ever seen in my life. I'm completely speechless. Oh, thank you so very much, all of you. It's completely breathtaking. I'm without words.
From the town hall square, the lights come on in sections. Down the promenade to the famous tower. And there, right to the very top of the flagpole, 520 feet above the ground. So down the whole length of the long promenade, with each pier twinkling its length out into the dark sea.
This year, the Blackpool Tower is 100, and to celebrate, it's been painted gold. Despite changing tastes and fashions, Blackpool has remained immensely popular. Millions continue to come here every year to forget themselves and the everyday lives they've left behind.
Every year, 7 million people come to Blackpool looking for a big time. They usually find it. It's under their noses and over their heads. That's the tower. Inside it now are 5,000 people, 2,000 fish, 3 lions, 4 tigers, and a vivarium containing crocodiles, turtles, monitors, water lizards, and a skink. These are the people who come to Blackpool.
There's a little bit of Blackpool out there in the people who come here. Each of our holidaymakers has their own dream, and they find they can live it out very often here in Blackpool. Blackpool Pulses, it's the kind of place where people really do come to let their hair down. They've let their hair down even before they've got off their coaches. They've come with that in mind. Blackpool was never genteel. In the 20s and the 30s, it was wide open. Perhaps it was even more wide open than it is today. They had defrocked vicars in barrels. They had Siamese twins on show to the public. Awful things by our standards.
I've travelled quite a bit in the past few years, and I've tried to describe Blackpool to people all over the world, and particularly in America, and no one really quite gets it. And you can sort of approximate it, but you can't actually get the real kind of essence of it, and the kind of sleaze and the tawdry aspect of it. It's tacky, and I mean that very affectionately. It is very, very tacky, and but I love it for that. I mean, everything about it is cheap and nasty, but I think that's a real quality, you know. And I'm kind of proud of that cheapness.
So what do you think? What part of people does it appeal
to? Their most bestial, their most bestial side. And their kind of their non-serious side. I mean, you know, the kind of people that come here aren't looking for anything but fun, really, and a kind of escape and fantasy and abandonment and intoxication and you know, kind of dream life. The whole of Blackpool is very childlike. Going back there was a little like remembering a dream, when you see something in the course of a day that suddenly takes you back to the night before. And going back to Blackpool did the same in terms of evoking my childhood.
Stand by, everybody. All the diggity bob ready? Cut to my camera!
Just a minute. Charlie, take the earphones off. What do you think you're doing? You've spoilt the show already.
Hey, you got the funny face.
And where's my caption?
Cut to Norman's caption.
Hey,
Okay.
just a minute, it's upside down. Go on, clear on.
I'm aware of it. There's a kind of people that kind of recognise me from the circus, and I've seen all the children grow up. The nice thing is that they bring them along to the Superdome, and you say, oh, we used to come to the circus when we were children, and now we're bringing our children, and the grandparents say, oh, you still here? And they think I've been here for about 100 years.
From Mexico City, please welcome the incredible Marco Polo.
For me, it's always a challenge, you see, because I like to kind of look at the audience and say, and it's a challenge. I am going to go out there and I am going to conquer this audience and I'm going to get the most I can out of this particular audience. And it's a job that I get paid for, of course, but I mean, I'm doing it with my heart. I'm working with my heart. You know, you put an audience in front of me and I'm in business. Beefy. All right. My first real love was horses, but the budgies, they fit in the back of the car and I can work anywhere in the world with them. Good lads. Most of the people in the audience have budgies or know somebody with a budgie. So with any tigers, you give them a reward of a piece of meat. The budgies won't actually accept a reward, so I have to kind of smooth them and I kiss them and cuddle them, and that's their little reward for doing the things right. When Blackpool was created, it was made for the mill workers of Lancashire who work in mills, and then kind of on their weeks they would come to Blackpool and have this kind of brash holiday. And I think it's still great. People still like it. They can feel free here.
People come here to get away and just be thoroughly bad. The average holiday, I would figure for most people, is to eat far too much crap, drink far too much, smoke far too much, you know, have far too much sex and bad weather, and you know, it's not a kind of I wouldn't expect it's a fulfilling holiday, but you probably go home with the biggest hangover of your life.
Blackpool is built on an idea: people like people. If you don't like people at close quarters, then you could never like this. Blackpool is built on an idea: give them what they want. For that, you need imagination. You need to guess what they want before they want it. Blackpool is near the big cities of the north. Millions of people still live in streets like this. They are very patient people. Sometimes they hardly seem to mind. They are very cheerful people, and they've learned to live very close to one another. Blackpool isn't too different. People who call the midday meal dinner, not lunch. People who are never really sure about the future or the job, and who have learned somehow not to care. And standing here on the promenade, looking at them, you're reminded not of the little things that make us all so very different, but of the tremendous things that make us all so very much alike.
What to do on a night like this? Music sweet, I can't resist. We need a party song, a fundamental jump, so we can rum bum bum bum. Yeah, we rum bum bum bum. Ole, 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 ole.
I was brought up surrounded constantly by drunk people. It was not my family, I stress to it. My family actually never drank. But all the tourists, my image of everyone who visited the Grockles were always drunk, and therefore unmanageable and unpredictable and volatile and therefore scary.
People in the body, hot, hot, hot. People in the body, hot, hot, hot. All the body people say they're feeling hot. All the body people say they're feeling hot. Hit it from the top, we're feeling hot. Hit it from the top, we're feeling hot. They come to the bottom of what they got. They come to the bottom of what they got. You're hot, I'm hot. He's hot, she's hot. You're hot, I'm hot. He's hot, she's hot. All the body people feeling hot. All the body people feeling hot. How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling?
Thank you very much. Now, our next one will be the slow foxtrot. So, if you want to have a dance and smile, now's your chance to do it. So this will be the slow foxtrot.
On the floor above the giant turtles, the Tower Ballroom offers live music from 10 a.m. to 11 at night. A rota of keyboard players provides the dedicated with a non-stop succession of quick steps, tangos and other dance floor favourites.
I give my best to dancing. It's just me, I love it, don't we? It's everything, we just live to dance, don't we?
Yeah. Once you put your shoes on, that's it, you're a different person.